is working and what is not. Alright, looks like everything's working. Except for my user-facing camera. That one's frozen. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Boop. Okay, and then let's fix that. There we go. Alright, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, man. Ugh. So last week my computer died. So I had to take my streaming laptop and try to use that as my gaming platform, and it's a gaming laptop. And then it died. And yeah, I had to reset it, and now it is like completely screwed up for all the stream settings. So I think we're working. So we're gonna see. We're gonna run it and see what happens. So because of all that, I decided I probably wouldn't play a game today in case everything decides to break halfway through. But we would do something much simpler today. So I figured we would channel my love for Gundam Wing. Because oh my god, do I love Gundam Wing. I grew up with it, and it is just legitimately like pure nostalgia for me. I just love all the designs and the Gundams, and funny thing is the animation's actually super bad, but like it works better as a clip show than an actual TV show. But you know, I enjoy the hell out of it. So they've been putting out a lot of the Gundam Wing kits, like new ones for the TV show recently. So like here's the Shenlong, Wu Fei's first Gundam from the first season, right? I need to paint all these ones up. I haven't done that yet, but they're really enjoyable builds, and they're just fun to have on my desk and kind of like tool around with, you know? But they've been putting a bunch of the other ones out as like P Bandai. So the Gundam Death Scythe Hell, right, versus the regular release one, which is the Gundam Death Scythe. So season 1 versus season 2. They've been putting out all of the season 2 stuff as P Bandai, but they've also been doing it as like expansion sets for the regular kits. So there's like a Space Leo, and there's a like a White Fang Leo that's coming out as well on P Bandai, and then there's this, which is the full weapon set. So this is pretty darn cool. Much like a regular P Bandai box, there's nothing really on the box besides the front picture. Hello! And it's really interesting because the front picture shows you a couple things. It doesn't actually show you everything you can make, and it doesn't show you all weapons in the box, which is pretty cool. So I figured we'd play around with this while I try to make sure all my camera settings and stuff are right. I was actually debating painting some Slanesh stuff because I've been working on my Slanesh models as part of my project to finish up kind of unfinished things that I've been just kind of been languishing. I've been working on my Slanesh stuff, so let me show off a couple of those. Nice and bright Slanesh-y. Okay, give me 1 second. Thank you. Okay. So these are the guys from the Underworld's kill team. I got them all done up. And I've got a bunch more Slanesh stuff, but it is, since last night, it has been raining super crazy here in Hawaii. So I haven't had time to haven't been able to top coat any of it. So I can't paint the rest of it up yet, but we got a Demonette there. But it's fun, and it's nice to be getting some projects done. I previously got the all my chaos guys done, and then I actually, as of last night, just finished all of my Stormcast Eternals, including my big dragon. So that was really nice. But back to our kit. So what are we gonna get in here? Well, we're gonna get a standard Leo kit, which is a fantastic kit by itself, and I have, I think, 2 of them floating around here already. And then we're going to get a ton of extra stuff. So we're going to get a flight pack, a bazooka, the heavy dauber gun like the Tall Geese has. We're also going to get 3 different las pistols, or las like rifles, including one, which is this one right here, which actually doesn't show up in the cartoon at all. That one only shows up in the opening, because the Tall Geese uses it, takes like 1 shot, and then discards it. That's the only time that gun is used. So kind of interesting. And then we're going to get kind of the long and short version of the space guns, and then that big like laser rifle that's really cool. I don't know if I ever saw a Leo actually used, but it's cool it's there. And then we'll get the standard Leo stuff, so the shield and the machine gun, all that kind of stuff. And then we also get the space pack and a parachute pack, but the parachute pack's not really very interesting. But yeah, we'll also get the space pack and the commander shoulders that have the little turrets on them. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty darn cool stuff, to be honest. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to build them up and build up some of the special stuff. I thought it would just be nice and chill, fun time kind of thing. So we can crack open all our runners. Let's see what we got. Because the standard Leo kit is a really great kit. Like, if you were new to Gunpla and you had never built a kit before, but you remembered Gundam Wing, the standard Leo kit is one that I would actually recommend as someone's like first Gunpla. It's that solid of a kit. I mean, this one is going to include that kit, so it, by definition, is also very solid. But this one's slightly more expensive. I got it off of the P Bandai like mass drop thing, where you pre-order stuff like 6 months to a year ahead, and then they send it to you. And that's really, I love that service. I think it's fantastic, because buying P Bandai secondhand in the US is expensive AF. Not a fan of that. Not a fan at all. So I really like the mass drop thing, and it enables me to actually get some of the kits that I probably wouldn't have been able to before. Case in point, I have the Death Size Hell I showed off. I've got Ultron to my right, and I've got the Vey and Mercurius I have to build still. So yeah, just really cool kits I probably wouldn't be able to get a hold of otherwise. Alright, so that's what we got. We got our dauber gun and our bazooka here, and then a couple other bits and bobs. This looks like that big beam rifle, and then a couple of the other ones. Oh, it looks like we will get the pistol version and the rifle version. That's really cool, because for this guy, we can either pick the pistol or the rifle. We don't get both. Alright, and then we're down to the standard runner. This is a standard multi-part runner. It's got the basic rifle and stuff on it. We've got our joint runner. I will say this does use the 30-minute mission style joints in some of them, which is disappointing, but it's actually not that bad here. And we got our Leo parts and parts for the flight pack there in a darker green. And then we have, this is actually the parachute pack and hands, which is kind of neat. And then we have the parachute pack in another color and hands. I guess so the hands are the right color. And then that I think is part of the flight unit, and it's one of the cannons for the shoulders. And then there's part of the flight unit and the space backpack. So if you get this base Leo, it automatically comes, I think, with some of this. I think you're going to get maybe this and the flight pack if you get the Space Leo. So anyway, let's get building our boy here. So let's build some legs. That is one of the really nice things about this kit. It goes together really easy. It's like a dream, essentially. It's a fantastic kit. And really, the Leo is a awesome suit. All of the suits for Oz are named after the star signs. So you have like the Leo and the Sagittarius and the Aries and stuff like that, and the Cancer. But the only one they ever made into a recent kit is the Leo. So I would absolutely love to get an Aries, but they don't make them, unfortunately. The Aries is like the fast attack flight unit, because the Leo can do like flight assisted jumping, but it can't really like full on fly. At least not without like that big pack we're going to build today. So, but we just snip them out. Got a little bit of nubs. Clean this up a little bit with our nippers. All right. We could clean them up with my razor if I found the damn thing. All right, zoom in a little. There we go. But yeah. And actually, if you've never painted kits before, the Leo is fantastic for that, because there's no pieces where like the joints and the armor really kind of like sit inside each other. So because of that, if you actually wanted to do the thing where you spray it on the runner, which I wouldn't really recommend, basically you take the runner and prime the whole thing. You could actually do that really easy with this kit, but you will get a nicer finish if you snip everything off, sand it all, and do like the whole 9 yards. But if it's your first time painting, I mean, and you know, getting over that initial painting hump is a big challenge for a lot of people, right? I don't say that negatively. That's just truth. Like, the idea that you're going to ruin your stuff or, you know, screw it up or whatever, that's a big hurdle for a lot of people, especially when a lot of people do this kind of hobby as a way to like relax from anxiety, right? So having anxiety about ruining your project or whatever is you know, problematic, or it really kind of gets in the way. But one of the tricks to kind of like getting over that, right, and getting kind of like over that hump is to reduce the activation energy for it. So you make it as easy as is possible, and that makes it easier to do, right? Makes it easier to have that energy to start. So, you know, if you've never painted kits before and you wanna start, right? And if you want to start by painting on the runner, then do it, right? Fuck it. All right, if it gets you over that hump, that's all that matters, right? That activation energy of starting something you've never done before, right? Getting over that kind of pressure and tension and stuff is super important. Alright, so the really nice thing about this kit is Bandai was on this, like, the runners need to make sense kick when they started working on these ones. So essentially each one of the quadrants of this runner, you can kind of see it can be broken down into essentially 5 different pieces. So I guess it's not a quadrant, but you know what I mean. Each one of the sections of this runner is a different piece. So if you wanted just the joints for like one of the legs, you could snap one of these pieces off, and then you would have just the joints for that leg. Or just the joints, like this is a whole arm. This is the joints that go into the chest, that kind of thing. Hello! How's it? But yeah, it's really neat. It also means that you really kind of don't need the instructions to know which pieces you need for some of these kits. You might need them to know which how they attach or whatever, but you know, you can kind of just look at the runner and be like, oh, okay, all of the joints are here or whatever, right? So what I'm doing is I'm actually clipping out all of the joints for both of his legs. So we're going to build the legs first. So our Leo buddy can stand up. But yeah, I mean, getting over that hurdle of painting stuff is a challenge, right? A guy recently did my first like heavy battle damage to a kit, and it was a little bit of a hurdle for me to get over, right? And like I painted a shit ton of kits, but getting over that hurdle was a little bit of a challenge, right? Like just mentally making that jump. I still need to finish this diorama, but like, you know, like sawing through his shield and arm and into his chest, you know, it was totally different than anything I'd ever done before for this Zaku. So it you know, was a little like, oh shit, what's this kind of thing. But you know, he'll make a really cool piece of this diorama whenever I get to finish it. So I do really need to finish it though. The problem with that diorama is I don't super know how I want to display it, which sounds really dumb, but like I kind of, how do the joints go in? Do they? Yes. I kind of want to make it something that actually like hangs on the wall, and I haven't figured out the logistics of that yet. So I kind of want to do something where like it's almost like a platform or like a shadow box that kind of sits on the wall, and then it holds like a plate that I put the kit on or the displays on. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's coming out nicely. It's got the diorama's gonna have a couple other kits in it. So it's gonna have this Dom Tropin in it, as well. So he's gonna be in the kit, or he's gonna be in the diorama. So he's gonna be like skating up behind this Gundam here, as the Gundam cuts the Zaku in half. So I got the Gundam Mudrock all painted up and good. So once I figure out how I want to display it, this will be the guy killing that Zaku. So yeah, pretty fun. It's a fun diorama, or I'm enjoying it because I've never done that kind of battle damage before, and it was just enjoyable. You know, something new. All right, we need the armored knee piece. We need an armored knee piece, and we need basically all of this. So we'll flip it all out. Again, you can see the runner like makes sense, right? But yeah, so I kind of want to do like something that sits in the wall, like almost like a like a backdrop kind of thing, but not really. Like kind of just like a platform. It kind of like sticks out from the wall. Like a shadow box without the box, essentially. Is kind of how I want to do it, but I haven't figured out the logistics of that part of it yet. I was thinking about building it into a frame, but I don't know. I just never finished figuring that out. So that's something I gotta do still. That is on the list of projects. Let's see. We got our knee pads here. Right. Yeah, we which one goes on what side? They have an up and down, but it doesn't specify. I'm assuming it goes like that. That would make sense to me. Nope, goes the other way. So there's a little indent there, and that goes around like that. Because there's a tiny little piece here. So it's flat. But yeah, so, but like when you're building and stuff, right? Like, you know, like how you can see I'm just kind of like lazily chilling and, you know, doing nubs and stuff, like, not like being super crazy about any of it. You know, when you're building your kits, they always don't have to be this crazy giant project, right? Like sometimes they can be just chilling on a Sunday afternoon because the world is insane and you want to build a Gundam, you know? And that is equally as good because this kind of thing is a you know, it's a hobby, right? Like it doesn't have to be super serial if you don't want it to be. Like, you know, I talked about reducing the activation energy to do something, right? Like getting that bar as low as is possible so that, you know, it's easier for you to make that hurdle. But if you also never want to make that hurdle, then you also just don't have to, right? Like nobody's saying you have to paint your kits or anything like that. Right? Like I will always recommend painting because I think it's very fun. I enjoy the process a lot. And I really like the end result. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it. You know what I mean? And nobody should be being like, oh, you have to paint your kits or why do you even build them, right? Like that's really shitty. Nobody should be like that, so. Alright, let's see. If I did have one complaint about this kit, besides the 30-minute mission joints, which suck, because they're these like C-style clip joints, it's this way the ankle armor attaches. It just never sits very strong. Now, the truth is it really doesn't matter that much once you start like posing it and playing with it, but it's still a little annoying. Alright, let's see, we gotta build the foot. So I'm missing part of the foot. There we go. There we go. Boop boop. Yeah, there's this very strange like idea that, you know, you always have to do things the right way, right? You always have to do them like, you know, the correct way or whatever. But with this kind of hobby stuff, sometimes there, you know, that really doesn't apply, because the action itself is kind of the reward. So when you only do it according to a guide or whatever, like, you lose some of the value of the exploration and kind of enjoying that yourself, you know. Now, you know, so that's all some people want, right? Like maybe they really don't like this process, and that's fine. They don't have to do that, but they still want the end result. At which point, a guide is fantastic for them, and that's cool, you know. But I do see this as the reward is the process more than the end result. Like, it'll be cool to have this little finished Leo with like a trillion guns, but the joy is building him and building all of his guns and stuff, you know, and you know, maybe in the future painting him and putting him into some kick-ass poses, that kind of stuff, you know. Maybe having him be cut in half by the Sandrock, right? Like, you know, zoom, you know, it'd be cool shit. That's kind of the fun, you know. All right, let's see. What is this guy? What is this guy? What is this guy? What does this guy do? He's a hip joint. Bonk. Bonk. There we go. Okay. We got some polycaps. And then, all right, the hips face out. There we go, like that. Now the Leo has a surprisingly complicated, like, junk. Like, his skirt armor and stuff is surprisingly complicated. It's got thrusters and all kinds of stuff in it. It's not complicated to build, but like, it's compared to the chest, which is very like flat and plain. The like waist area of the Leo has a lot of stuff going on. All right, so let's see. We got this guy here, C19. Bonk. There we go. We've got C20. Interesting they chose to do this out of the black plastic. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but it's just interesting nonetheless. Alright, let me move this guy, otherwise I know I'm going to catch that lightsaber or beam saber while I'm moving stuff around. Alright. Let's see. So we got that, and then we need some parts from A. We need his booty, just right there. I'm betting all these pieces here are going to be booty pieces. So, yep. And this one, yep. And these ones, yep. Shpa. But yeah, these, if you've never used P Bandai before, it is fantastic. So how it works is you will put in a pre-order for a kit that will come out probably in like 6 months to a year. And then when it comes out, they just ship it to you. But you basically are buying it for retail price, which is very nice, because P Bandai, if you're not aware, is like a Japanese only brand. They don't get imported normally. They are kind of like smaller production runs for things that Bandai either wants to be exclusive or doesn't think will sell as well, right? So sometimes it's small variants, like, you know, it might be the Unicorn Gundam, but the clear pieces are blue instead of green or whatever. Or vice versa, you know, or it might be something like this guy here, which is essentially just the standard Leo plus some additional gear, right? It's a couple extra runners of equipment. stuff that they don't kind of want to put on a regular shelf for whatever reason. So the P Bandai service is super nice, because how I do it is I will pre-order something, and then I kind of make a point to like forget about it. So I don't like track it. I don't see what's going on or anything with it like that. I just let it kind of happen on its own, and then I will just get a box outside, and I'll be like, oh, what is this box? And I'll open it up, and it'll have like surprise Gundams, right? And that's kind of how I do it. I think that's really the fun way to doing the P Bandai stuff, because pre-ordering that far out is, oof, like if you're really waiting for it, man, it's a long time waiting for something. You know what I mean? Like I think I just pre-ordered something from them that ships in like July, right? So you're talking 6 months there. How does this guy go? Bonk. There we go. Alright, now we gotta get his booty thrusters. Let's find his booty thrusters. Oh yeah, and if you notice, I split the waist armor there. It's something you can do in almost all Bandai kits. And basically it just lets it move independently. So like if I want just one side to be up, right, because maybe that leg's lifted but the other one's not, that's all that does. But it's really nice. It's a good way to do it. Because if you don't want the hassle of like having the split one, because sometimes it can be really annoying, you can just keep them together. Okay, we need C1 and C2. Okay, there they are. But yeah, right now I think there's a couple of real grades up on there that are for Gundam Wing, and I think there's the Space Leo and like the White Fang Leo, I think are both up there too. The Vey and Mercurius just shipped, as did the Ultron, so they might still have some of those in stock, but I don't know. Because what will happen is if the pre-order wave doesn't sell out, it just becomes in stock, and you could just go and buy it from the P Bandai website and they'll send it to you like normal. Usually that doesn't happen though. Usually it's like pre-order only essentially. It only usually happens with the in stock if the item's not like super popular. So there we go. He's got his booty thrusters. Bonk. And then his dong thruster goes in the front. Boom. There we go. And that's our legs of our Leo. Let's keep going. Next up, we need to build a body. So we're looking for C3. Move that guy out of the way. And then we're looking for all those B joints I talked about earlier, and then a whole bunch of this armor here. Yeah, it's really interesting. In the beginning of Gundam Wing, like in the first couple episodes, the show actually has like this really like heavy kind of feel to it. Like there's a part where Zex gets like reprimanded for losing one Leo, right? Like that's a big deal. Like, oh my god, that costs so much. How could we lose one? You know, and then later on you have cannons firing and killing like, you know, dozens and dozens of them at a time. But kind of in the beginning, there's this sort of much more like heavier kind of feel. It'd be really neat if they did a Gundam Wing series that, you know, like a new one that had that same kind of like, you know, spirit to it, like almost like a Gundam Wing 8th MS team kind of thing. Because Bandai is really bad about making these awesome kind of worlds and then just like forgetting about them, like Iron-Blooded Orphans, you know, or Gundam X, right? Mobile Fighter G Gundam, right? Like, those are some awesome settings, and Bandai basically has just forgot they exist, right? Just treating them kind of like a one-off show. Ooh, got way too deep there. There we go. When really, like, if they return to the settings, it would be pretty cool. Ironically, the one setting they keep going back to is the one I like the least, which is Gundam, the World of Gundam Seed. I really don't like Gundam Seed. Like, let me rephrase that. I enjoy the show, but like, if I had to pick a Gundam world, it would not be my main one. That's how I'll say it. Like, there's some really cool stuff in there, but it's also, I don't know. There's no like kind of grounded feeling to a lot of it, and that's a shame. Alright, next that guy goes in like that, and this guy goes in like this, and then we need another ball so we can plug his chest into his butt, right? Oh no, it doesn't use the ball, it just plugs it in. Bloop. There we go. Nice easy chest. Okay, let's see. We'll build the head last. That seems appropriate. We'll build the arms. They do go back to Gundam 00 quite a bit, which is actually a pretty neat world as well. There's a lot. Gundam 00, I always say, is it's a series I did not like in the beginning, but once I got into it, I really enjoyed it. But the problem is that, like, it really is like the series with the most wasted potential. Like, the end of season 1 is fucking phenomenal. Introduces a lot of really cool ideas. And then they basically forget them all in season 2, and it reverts like tons of stuff. It's really lame, but like the end of season 1 is baller. There's all this stuff with like the particles making people sick, and you know, like celestial being becoming like the bad guy, and that being the plan all along, and then, you know, the guy that planned it's actually still alive. It's some pretty cool stuff. You know, you realize that Gundam Exia is really not there to do missions. The Gundam Exia is really there to kill the other Gundams if they become rogue, and it's some pretty cool stuff. But then it kind of basically forgets all of that in season 2. You have a little bit of the Gundam particles making people sick, but then by like the second episode they just forget about it. You know, I'm just gonna clip the rest of these green parts out. Well, interesting. This P Bandai kit did not come with any stickers. Fascinating. Swore he used to have a sticker that went behind his eye. Maybe I'm wrong. You'll see that on a lot of kits. They'll put a shiny silver sticker behind the clear piece. So that the clear piece like reflects better. Cool. One runner down. Yeah, I thought I had a sticker back there, but the pisser is that once I put this eyepiece in, it's going to be almost impossible to get out. So what we are going to do is we're going to paint that part in silver. I'll break my palette out and stuff if I have to, but I'm going to have to. So this is just chainmail from Vallejo. There's tons of acrylic silver paints though, and any of them will work for this. If you have a chrome pen, which were like all the rage a while ago, they are like the best for this. I don't know. There's a company that makes them called Molotov. I don't know where mine got to. I think I lost it in the move, so because of that, I'm just using silver paint. Alright, I'm going to toss it over to the side. Oh, guess I killed that runner earlier. Alright. Well, that dries. We'll finish everything else up, and then we'll build the head last. That makes the most sense to me. Okay, let's see. We got a shoulder here, and the shoulder gets some armor. The armor goes upwards, not downwards. Bonk. There we go. One of the things I always really liked about the Leo design is it feels like a mix between a GM and a Zaku, and I think that's really interesting from a like design standpoint, right? Like taking two things from other shows and essentially putting them together. I think that's really interesting. And I feel like they did a really good job of it in the Leo. Nope, I was just autopilot building his head there. Let's see. Next, he gets his wrists. But yeah, just really trying to finish up a lot of projects right now. Trying to clean house a little bit, you know, stuff I've had sitting around for a long time, like those Slanesh guys I showed off earlier, you know, working through those, and did all my Stormcast, stuff like that. He needs an upper arm. Let's see. Does that come from this one? No, it does. Weird. Weird. I thought the upper arm would be brown like the rest of the joints, but I guess not. But yeah, just trying to clean up a little bit. Trying to finish some projects up, trying to get some stuff off my shelf in here. I spent all morning, I have these 5 big glass cabinets in my living room. I spent a good chunk of the morning filling those back up. So redoing some of the displays that are in there, and then making sure that everything is showing up, right? Like making sure that the stuff that should be in there is, you know. So I condensed a couple of the things, a couple of the displays, and then put some other ones together. And it freed me up some room in here, which is really nice because you can see all the shelves behind me. I really want these shelves to be for terrain to make filming easier. That's really what I want these shelves in here to be. So, yeah, like I don't mind models and so on because I just don't have that much terrain, but I'm trying to get all that Necromunda stuff sorted so I can kind of play on it. And, I mean, it's literally the board I used last week is literally right there to my left right now. And I want to just be able to make that nice and easy to be able to play on. You know, as we mentioned, you know, reduce that activation energy because you know, lots of times I don't want to have to jump through a bunch of hoops so I can stream a game, right? And it's more fun to you know, it's really enjoyable to play the games even solo by myself on stream. It's a good time. You know, I look forward to it. It makes painting the models and stuff a little more exciting, right? Because you kind of got like a goal for the model and things. And that's kind of fun. You're like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna get to, you know, put this guy on the table. And it's gonna be really cool. You know, so in addition to the hobby part, you also have just the kind of the fun of that piece of it. There we go. There's our completed Leo. Whoosh. And he explodes just like they do in the show. So, alright, let's make him some of the fancy new equipment. This is his shoulder shield, so I guess let's build that first. Because that's part of the standard Leo, and I already clipped it out. And that'll go with the dauber gun. There it is. So yeah, I don't know, just trying to get that activation energy down so it's easier to stream a game, you know. So I do really enjoy streaming the games. And I don't know, lots of times I might not have the energy to do it, you know what I mean? And that's no good. But I mean, it's also not the end of the world if it doesn't happen. But I do enjoy getting to play those kind of games and stuff. So, you know, getting to have a little adventure with my dudes on the table. So after my Slanesh stuff, I'm probably going to start up my Dead Man's Hand stuff again. so might be getting that on the table. I was really enjoying Star Quest though, and it does let me use my new terrain I just made, so it's pretty dope. Alright, so that still has the eye on it. Let's see, it's got this big ammo container here. Ammo container, and then it faces this way. There we go. That just plugs in like that. And then this goes like that. And there's the standard machine gun for the Leo. There's the standard machine gun. Looks pretty cool. It's like a Sten gun with a big barrel mag on the, or a big like drum mag on the bottom. Let's see, here's the shield. Alright. And that plugs in there. And then he's got 2 beam sabers and his shield. So the beam saber thing is like it seems to be like a commander Leo thing. The regular Leos don't have it. Which is kind of a shame. If this was like the standard, that would look pretty cool. But alright. So that is all of those weapons. Let's build some of the new stuff now. Right. You can get killed by the Shenlong. Alright, so let's see. We've got the dollar gun here. That big, heavy kind of cannon that the Tallgeese uses. So he basically can equip this guy like a proto-Tallgeese. Although I guess the Tallgeese is really the proto-Leo, lore-wise, but. Alright, let's see, we get that, and then he's going to have F218, F220, F219, okay, which is all these pieces here. These are all the rig for carrying the dauber gun. But yeah, like an 8MS team, right? Version of Gundam Wing. Oh, it'd be so fucking cool. So a really neat thing is this shoulder piece is reversible. So if you want it to, the dauber gun to be on the left or the right, it can do either. Pretty cool to cut the hole in the barrel there. Got this front. Got a front mounted kind of handle on a ball joint, which is pretty cool. And then this guy is our clamp to attach it to the shoulder armor. Right? Yep. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's try it out. Get out of here, Wu Fei. Nobody likes you. Okay, so that's how that goes on. Nice and easy. And then, yeah, dauber gun just plugs in right there. Oh yeah, that works like a charm. Look at that. That's pretty dope. Reaching across the body is a little bit of a challenge. But he does have the other grabby hands, so let's break one of those out. Yeah, we'll give him a different kind of grabby hand. Doesn't look like you get extra backs for the hands, so I'm guessing you just have to swap them out. That's pretty cool, you get the extra hands like that. Boom. Boom. The big dauber gun, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, you can see these ankle armor bouncing around like I mentioned before, and they're really annoying. But it does keep them from like really getting in the way. So it gives you way more movement, but they don't hold very well. Boom. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool dauber gun. Alright, let's see what else we got. We got a bazooka we can build. Then after that I think we'll put his eyepiece in because his face should be dry by then. So we've got a bazooka here. And there's some other bits on this that I don't know what they are for, so. Ah. So I'm guessing those little thrusters are for the flight pack. But these, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're for the commander shoulders? We'll see, we'll see. Alright, so big bazooka. I don't ever remember them using this bazooka. I know they do, but I do not remember it. And then this plugs into that. Like that. Okay, it makes the grip in the sight. That's pretty cool. And then that just fits in there. It's pretty cool. It looks like an AT4 or something. And if we take his dauber gun off, we can give him a bazooka. Pretty cool. Alright, let's see, what else do we got? Let's equip our boy for space. We're going to space. Space time. Bonk. Alright, I'll build the space backpack and then we'll put his eye in. Because the space backpack is extremely detailed, but only really has 2 pieces on it. So, looks nice and easy. But yeah, so trying to clean up a lot of projects, just kind of trying to get them wrapped up. I will say I'm going to buy some new shit next week though. The Gloom Spike gets like Wolf Rider launch box is coming out, and yeah, I'm going to buy that. I probably shouldn't because I have too many projects already. I'm like surrounded by stuff I have to build and paint and all this, but I don't. It looks really cool. Yeah, all right, there's our flight pack for space. Our space pack. I do like the space pack on these guys. It makes them look very complete. It's pretty dope. Alright, let's build some of the laser guns. Let's see. You know, honestly, I'm just going to basically clip all of these out. But yeah, the wolf box is really cool. I'm not gonna be super honest. I'm not gonna be able to resist it. It's really neat. And it's a whole bunch of wolf riders. So you get 2 sets of the wolf riders. You get the new character, and you get the 2 chariots. And it's really cool because they all have a bunch of like different build options. So even though you're getting duplicates in the box, you're not really going to have duplicates. They're all going to have all these different options. And it's going to be pretty cool. Still not really interested in playing Age of Sigmar. There's the big beam rifle, or the beam assault rifle. I don't really know what to call it. This is the longer range one they use in space. That's the laser gun noise. And then he's got the smaller, kind of like compact version of that same gun, like the SMG version, I guess. Alright, let's see. And then we have this gun, which we can use a couple of different ways. So this one looks a lot like the pistol used by the Mercurius, but you can also make it into the rifle that's used by the Tallgeese in the opening. So it's pretty cool they include that as an option. Because, like, legitimately, that rifle, I think, only shows up in that opening scene. And I don't think it's ever actually used in the cartoon. So, it's pretty cool. Otherwise, this could be the... It looks a lot like the pistol for the Mercurius. Alright, nice little combat pistol. Or you can turn it into that weird, kind of forgotten rifle. So if you pick this up, you could get a neat little accessory for like your real grade Tallgeese. That should be kind of cool. Because since there are RG Tallgeese, I don't think they'll ever do a HG of the Tallgeese, because you have the RGs of the Tallgeese 1, 2, and 3. Same thing with the Epion. I don't think we'll ever get a new HG Epion, which one is kind of a shame, but the RG one looks amazing. I have it sitting next to me. I really should build that one too. The Epion is such a fucking cool design. God, I love all the designs from Gundam Wing, to be honest. I am very easily sold on Gundam Wing. Here's the big beam cannon. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the one that you're only like allowed to shoot in space, because it overheats without having like the cold of space around it. I think they shoot it at one point at Wu Fei, and it like overheats and explodes. I think that's what this is. It could also just be the Davargon variant, but I think it's supposed to be that really big beam gun. It looks super cool though. That one looks awesome. Yeah, that looks super cool. Look at that. Oh, I've been streaming for an hour, but we don't have that much more to go, so I might as well finish it up. I don't know why he's not standing. His fucking foot fell off. Derp. Alright, so let's see, what else do we got? We have these pieces, which is a like flight parachute pack. Oh, we gotta put his eye in. Let's do that. It comes with a lot of guns. We'll take his space pack off, because I think the only thing we have left are the commander shoulders and the flight pack. Yeah, this eye would be so annoying to get out. So I'm really happy to put the silver behind it beforehand. We'll just make it show up a little better. Alright, so I guess let's build commander shoulders first, I guess. So we're looking at 2 parts for F2, so we'll finish this runner up and we'll just clip these off while we're here. But yeah, I have so many other projects. I really shouldn't buy anything new, but I'm easily sold by a Wolf launch box. It does include the Battle Tome, and I really just have zero interest in playing Age of Sigmar. So that doesn't super interest me, but the models look like a lot of fun. And I mean, I am always easily sold on painting wolves. Like, if you're like, hey, here's a bunch of dudes riding wolves, I'm like, yes, please. Yeah, it's one of those weird things where, like, I probably really shouldn't pick it up, because I don't, besides the hobbying, I don't know if I'll actually ever use the models. Just because I don't tend to play those kind of big scale games, right? Because I don't, so I chuck that all across my desk here. I don't tend to, you know, I don't really tend to play with people I don't know anymore, and I primarily am really playing with, like, with myself on the channel, which sounds kind of sad, but it's true. So, you know, there's kind of like really big army games I don't really tend to play anymore, so really don't have a use for the Wolf Rider models, so I probably really shouldn't pick them up. But they are really, really freaking cool, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, stuck in my beard. Let's go ahead and give this guy a promotion to being a commander. Such a weird thing to have on a commander unit. Like, shoulder pads that are cannons. It's so strange. You think you'd have like an extra radio pack or something, right? But not cannon shoulders. I mean, it's cool it's in this kit. It's a cool accessory, but it's a weird weird addition, you know? Like, as far as design goes. As far as the kit goes, it's really cool it's in there, and it's neat the little cannons turn too. So it could be like, boom, boom. That's really pretty cool. And if you wanted to do a whole squad of these guys, there's now a way to have a commander model for them, which is pretty cool. Alright, what else do we got? And the last thing we got to build is the flight pack, not counting the parachute pack. It's kind of cool they did this in slightly different green. It's pretty cool. So that's trash. Then we got this guy. Yeah. Well, might as well finish this piece up since it's the last one I got. A lot of those extra weapons have a lot of like extra like joints and stuff that I did not expect them to have. So, like the dauber gun having that like little swivel handle on the front. All right, there we go. There we go. And these are his like fuel tanks for the flight unit. The only time I can think of these flight units being used is there's an episode that takes place on like a bunch of like aircraft carriers, and one of the Leos uses it to jump around, like jump from one aircraft carrier to another. They probably show up other places too, but that's the only place I can remember them being used. Alright, let's see. Oh. Okay. Oh, interesting. This actually works partly off ball joints. Alright, we'll just clip all the bits out. And we'll go from there. I don't think my husband got some kind of food or something. We were talking about going out for a little bit, but then it was like downpouring for like really hard for a little while, just like out of the blue, and like that's cleared up now. But man, for like an hour it was like coming down, like right kind of at like the beginning of the stream. The mic is like single directional, so I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it was like really pounding. Alright, let's see. Flight. We need the last one of these, I guess. This guy will get demoted from being a captain. Although I guess a captain could use this, I guess. Pull out 2 ball joints, put them on here. The fuel tanks go on there as well. Okay. I think this just... Alright, that worked. And then... Oh, maybe it faces this way? It does. Okay. Gotta spin these guys around. So be careful just direct spinning these. They actually have a little tooth on them that clicks in addition to the peg, to make sure they're facing the right way. And then there's that parachute pack. Then this goes like that. And this goes like, nope, we got that backwards. Because this has to face outwards so it can plug into his back. Like that. There we go. There's our flight unit. What we're going to have to do is pop these little things out of his legs there, And these guys go in that hole. Oh, they go in like that, apparently. Okay. And then this one goes in like that. And then he gets the flight pack. Da-na-na-na. And there he is. Flight pack's kind of cool with the ball joints on it like that. It's actually pretty neat. That's cooler than I thought it would be. I'm gonna give him the big laser gun. So he's a flying commander boy. Last but not least, we have these. What the hell are these? I do not see these in the instructions anywhere. Right. Okay. It must be wrong. They must be used somewhere. Because they're not X'd out on the instructions. Alright, they're not anywhere there. They're not anywhere on that one. Not anywhere on the next one. They don't go anywhere on the flight pack. They go somewhere on the space pack and I just missed it. No, they don't. Yeah, I don't know. There's no instructions for those. Unless I'm blind and totally don't see it. Yeah, I don't know what those are for. They look like a piece of shoulder armor, but honestly I don't know if they fit anywhere. I mean, maybe, no, they definitely don't go there. Maybe it's an alternate armor for this? No, definitely not. Yeah, they look like some kind of shoulder armor, but I don't know. Yeah, no clue where those go. But that is the Leo full equipment set. So you get the regular nice Leo kit, plus a metric ton of weapons and stuff, which is pretty cool. But I was cheap for an hour. You can go ahead and call it there. Here's a shot again of everything you get. Big rifle, small rifle, shield, parachute thing, flight pack, space pack, big rifle, yeah, all kinds of cool shit. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a good time hopping along with me. I will be back next weekend. And yeah, we'll see what we get up to. But